I got a rare comment asking about something pertinent, um, asking me if I was ever going to finish my reviews of Robert Kalich. I love to call him Robert. I know his brother's name is Robert, but Richard Kalich is actually the guy. So, Times Books sent me um, uh, the unassisted. Um, oh fuck, forgot the name. The the shit. What is it called, Dick? The unassisted. No, the unassisted triple play. No, it's not a baseball thing. But he was good at baseball, and his brother wasn't. But his brother went on to be a more successful writer, although he didn't write literature. But I think Kalich writes about constipation at some point. Maybe that's someone else, but he has literary constipation. It takes him years. Books take years to gestate or digest. Tate. And anyway, the unassisted living or the assisted living facility library, I think it's called, is his final book or his latest book. I'm not sure. In that book, he actually talks about David Markson, who is like him, a modernist in his conception of books. His writing is not necessarily modernist, but he's very modernist, and in a way that's really fucking creepy. In the nastiness of some of the stuff in the books, and the voyeurism and the use of characters taken from real life and put into his home, which he does also in this one. He virtually kidnaps a catatonic schizophrenic mother and her child, and then torments the mother. But never mind that. What's really weird about Kalich is that he comes alive in your home. Right now, I have no idea where the book is. I've read about half of it, I think, and I will find it as soon as I look for it. But now I'm not looking for it because I want to see what his next move is. Because Kalich is always up to something. He's a kind of person who's always up to something, at least literarily. Even though he might take 20 years to digestate a book, he's just always pulling something. He's doing something strange, And and I'm now starting to understand in this book that he revels in it. He pretends not to notice or not to care, but he revels in it. And he knows that once he gets in your house, it's like you're in his house, and he's watching you the whole time. He's a spooky guy, and so I'm just kind of experimenting. I there are two books I really want to read right now, and I'm in a terrible state because I have to wait for them. One of them is Seshu Foster's East Los Angeles East Los Angeles Dirigible Air Transport Lines, and the other is my own press's novel by Philip Friedenberg, illustrated by Jeff Walton, called America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots, a Diagnostic. That's coming out on the 17th, and so it's weird. I'm 62 years old. I should want time to slow down, but I really want to get to that. But I want the Foster book to come. I've been waiting over a month. He sent me two. I ordered one, and there's just no sign of anything. And I want to get Foster's book like Monday, and then read it just in time to go to Ljubljana and pick up the copies of America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots. And meanwhile, I could easily be reading Kalich, and I have been. And then I picked up a giant Indian novel by Bengali writer, turn of the century, Sarit Chandra, just to fuck with Kalich, And his response, he was right there. There's a little stool, a little half stool with that room for a couple of books. Right now, I have Chandler Broussard, Tenderlopolis, and another Chandler Broussard. The two big Broussards, as the wolf howls at my door, and that is where Kalich was when I picked up the Indian book. And he's not. The other places that he would be out on the balcony. He's not there. That's where the book I just finished by B Times Books is, because I wanted to keep looking at it a little bit, and I have. That's the book by it's called Soul Catcher by Dmitry Bortnikov, and I thought that would give Kalich a little shot. Like I finished this book, I reviewed it, but yours, what do I care? And maybe it's here. No, I got a couple books here too. But anyway, so I started reading this Sarad Chandra behind me as a couch. And I started reading it there, and Kalich was here. And the other places his book could be are next to my bed. It's not there. On my desk, it's not there. And in the bathroom. I didn't look for it. It's just these are places that I go to regularly. The bathroom, less so. But we have some mineral water here with lots of magnesium called Donut. I had 2 bottles of that this week. And, well, I'm still not looking for Kalich often in there, but he isn't in there. He's not in there. He's not next to my bed. He's not in any of my bags. And just a second. Let me check. Maybe he isn't. Maybe he's in my big book bag here. Maybe he's in here. Oh, yeah, there it is. The Assisted Living Facility Library. He got in my bag. Yeah, that was unplanned. That was purely spontaneous. So anyway, the funny thing about this book is I just cracked up. It starts out, like everything, it's miserable, but he's miserable, and and then he realizes that just things aren't good. Okay, so he says, and remember, this isn't a review of Kalich because I'm not done with him, but it's just a little, an answer to a question. When am I going to finish Kalich? I don't know. There he is. There are pictures in this book too of him when he's a kid, and the dog just came in the room. Hi, Suleiman. And is there an adult Kalich? I know there is. That's him with George Mikan, a famous probably the first really famous, really tall basketball player. And he met him when he was a kid up in the Catskills. And anyway, in this book, Kalich is pretty much, like hard work. He says hard work and effort are of little use in times like these. Perseverance and tenacity are no avail. Nor are all the books he's read and written. He's alone, dying, dead. And then the next line is, still, he does have mother and the boy. Because that's what he's gonna he's gonna go write about mother and the boy, the kidnapped catatonic schizophrenic who he finds laying in the street looking at a boy, and he figures out that they're together and she's the mother. Although I guess we might find out at the end of the book that that's not true. I don't know. I think I was told there was a surprise at the end of this book. Maybe that was it. I think that'd be pretty funny. But already Kalich is losing it. He's writing the book while he's writing about the book, and that's kind of the postmodern part, or one of the postmodern parts. But he's also got the characters in his apartment so he can write about them. But he can't stop mixing Kalich, and Haberman is the main character, who's just a nasty, bizarre, mad social scientist type. Based on him, except for the nasty part, he's supposed to be a nice guy. I think, I don't know, but they in his first novel, Neil Esthete, which is just a classic of mean literature. They're in his the Neil Esthete has Haberman being nasty too. You can look at my review, but anyway, so now Haberman and him are inexchangeable. No, are exchangeable or no inexchangeable. What is the word? Anyway, I'm getting as old as Kalich when he wrote this, so you can't expect much from me. But okay, now there's a picture of him right on the back, and doesn't he look like a decent guy? You know, looks like a good guy. Yeah, it's probably why nobody suspects what he's really like. But it's just weird getting him in your house. He does the book. I didn't put it in that bag, and I just set it here. Tomorrow morning it'll probably be somewhere else. Probably be in the bathroom because I said for sure it's not there. So there's no telling when I'm gonna review Kalich. It's kind of like I'm a little bit like him. I want to review it, but I want to read the book first. But I don't want to read the book. I don't want to finish the book, even though I've been enjoying it. I have a Kalichian perversity that I think I caught from him, which is makes this a postmodern review. But look for my review of this book, and I've received a review from a reader of coronasamas.books who picked this up after I reviewed the trilogy, Neil Esthete, Penthouse F, and Charlie P. I reviewed all of those, or maybe just the Neil Esthete first. I don't know, but the guy. I mean, I don't know when the guy bought the book, but he bought this, and maybe he found it at a bookstore in the U.S. He's from Wisconsin, and he really liked it. It reminded him a lot of himself. Isn't that fucking typical? You know, it probably isn't anything like him, but Kalich has this kind of weird. I would call it like magic, but it's it's spookier than that. It's this creepiness. He's someone who shouldn't be allowed to do the things he does in public. I mean, as for his books, they will live on because they insinuate themselves into you. I mean, when you have a book that's the Neil Esthete is just cruelty, just absolute cruelty, to a point where you start laughing at some point, and then you realize that, but it's not going to get any better. So maybe it's not so goddamn funny, is it? And yet you do read it, and you realize, anything that fucking mean that goes on and is so compelling is somehow a classic. And he himself says it's compared to Lagerquist's The Dwarf. So, he knows what it is, and he knows what he's doing to people like me, people like you. Anybody watching this is going to get some sort of degenerative moral effect. I don't know what it'll be, but well, yeah, fuck off, Richard. But I'm going to read it. And so when am I going to read it? If not in the next week, then maybe in the next month, because I got Seshu Foster, and I got Philip Friedenberg, and illustrated by Jeff Walton. And I'd just like to see and maybe I'll finish that Indian book too, and I'll just keep reading. I think I'm on page, I'm on page 89 I'm past halfway out of 142. That's like 63%. Look it up. That's a guess, but I think I'm right. I don't do good math. I don't do good math, but when I guess good. So just wait for it. And Charlie P. Yeah, I still have a few pages left of that, but uh, maybe I'll never read them. Maybe I'll have them read over my grave. Yeah, that'll show 'em.